I'm Kitbashing, and today I bring you another video. Today we are doing a Firehowler. Did I intend to do a Firehowler in the beginning? No. My original goal was to build a Space Wolf Gravis Captain. I achieved that and then painted it up as a Firehowler. Yeah, Firehowler. I'm dyslexic. Yep. That's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoy. And if you do, please consider liking, subscribing, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another video. And check out the Discord down below. And while you're at it, click subscribe. Because I'm really close to 400 subscribers, and that'd be a massive goal for me. Alright, thank you guys for watching, and let's get into it. Starting this Kitbash, I grab a heavy intercessor that I had on my desk, along with the leftover bits, which is mainly just the cape and shoulder pads of the battle leader that I used for my Uric. I'll hopefully have that in the cards. Go check it out. It's awesome. My goal is basically strap this cape on the back of this intercessor with the furs and everything in line to a rough degree that it works. Now, originally when I was building this model, I had no idea other than Space Wolf in mind for this Kitbash. So all I know is that I wanted it Space Wolfy. So I think I've achieved that mostly with the cape and the shoulder pads. But I did add some more to it. The goal of this was, again, just to see if it would work. And surprisingly, this works really well. I think if I used a Gravis Captain, it'd probably be a little bit easier, and I wouldn't have to bend the cables and everything. But other than that, I feel you could really easily make some really nice Space Wolf Gravis Captains just from a standard intercessor. Like, I picked this one specifically because it had a, well, one, it was on my desk, and two, it's got a front-facing torso, so it's not none of this crazy angling or anything like that. So it works pretty bloody well. The shoulder pads are roughly the size of a Gravis Armor's one, so it works out well as that way too. So I can't really complain about how this worked. The only thing I will say is that you see that little chain there. I should have taken some tweezers and bent that inwards and glued it properly, because I didn't. I just bent it with my fingers and it just kept poking out. So yeah, other than that, I'm extremely happy with this model. I was going to use this mane that I think I got from the Stormcast. I think it's Stormcast Eternal Captain, or just like the ones with the spears. Have no idea what they're called, but yeah, I think it's like the captain's plume on his helmet. But yeah, that didn't work out as well as I thought it would, so I just kind of ditched that and went for a helmet. That's kind of what I went with, and it worked out pretty well for me. I don't know why I'm still fiddling with this helmet. Get it out of there. There we go. So, base idea is just blinging out with Space Wolf stuff. So, first of all, we're going to put this machete. I know it's a knife, but my god, it's about the length of a sword. It's just a short sword, pretty much. So a Gravis was a short sword. And then I take this necklace that I got from the the Wolf Scouts kit, the medic version, the medic in it, and just to sort of complete why that clasp is there. Does it work? It works good enough in my book. I do remove the tab because I forgot to do that originally and put the short sword back. Working off that, I just kind of compress everything together because it's like a little bit off, and just like micro adjustments to get everything to sort of fit in right. Now, I removed the belt buckle because I want to put a tabard on this guy. Just to make him a little more unique. Because I don't think I've seen many like actual Gravis armored units have tabards. I think the aggressors have them, but I'm pretty sure that's like the only one, but I can't even guarantee that. So yeah, I thought add a tabard because why not, and it surprisingly works really well. Especially since I was lucky enough to get one that had the same flow, like semi-flow of the cape. So it matched pretty damn well. Using micro adjustments, I just kind of get it into place and get it situated. But down the line, I do have to take it off again because I've changed my mind on the belt buckle. I didn't like it, so I put another one on. Correction, I just tore off that one and replaced it. But yeah. Using some sprue glue, I fill in a little bit of the gap of that shoulder pad because it had nothing in it, and then I clipped away at this wolfen forearm, or this arm, because I want to give this dude some frost claws because they look cool, they work well, and why the hell not? And to be fair, bare skin, muscular, and furry, it just works well for the Space Wolves, let's be honest. No one's going to look at that and think, oh yes, that's a Dark Angel. With all the furs and all that to it. So yeah, I will make an announcement now. I do swap out that breaching charge. Just cut off its hand and replace the hand with a Votan pistol, the revolver. The Votan Combat Pioneers, or whatever they are. Harlequins or something. Yeah. But yeah, with them, and they had these revolver pistols. I take that, and a small wolf head, a wolf skull, and glued it to the side of the barrel. Other than that, that's pretty much the only thing I really... Yeah, that, and then I bend that cable in a bit more. Here I remove the belt buckle, because I'm going to replace it with a, one of the Wolfen's, like, little badges, I guess. It's medallion, I guess. I'm not 100% sure. It's the same thing as, like, the clasp, but from the Wolfen kit. I don't know what exactly it's called, but it's this little detail with a skull in the front, and I was really happy with it, so I thought may as well add it. And I got that idea from my Space Wolves Saturnine Terminator I did, which I use with another part of the Saturnine Terminators here. Jeez, my stuttering is bad today. But yeah, it's not actually a really complicated conversion. For this cape, you literally just have to carve out where the power pack sits, and it sits pretty damn well. I take this Wolfen backpack topper, or power pack topper, this thing, carve away the inner struts, I guess is the best way to put it. Just these little support bits. Tear them out with a knife and just carve them away. I probably could have did a bit better job and just sanded it back, but I didn't. And just slap it on. And voila. Oh, and move those little prongs, but... And yeah. Nothing too... It's not exactly like crazy hard conversion work. It's just I am a big Space Wolf collector, so it's... You get... plenty of bits and leftover parts, especially that Yurik. That cape originally came from the battle leader that I used for my Yurik, the Slayer. So I will leave that hopefully in the cards as well. I don't know. We'll see how I go. Yeah, it's like I've got to try my best to remember all these things. So it's Yurik. Is that it? Yeah, I just gotta remember Yurik and... yeah. So that's kind of like the only real thing I can join to this model. I don't know. I take some this pouch with a fur bit on it. Chuck that in there. Just to add a bit more fur to it. I know it's got a lot of it, but I just like using it to fill in empty spaces. Because I don't like models that have like empty spaces in them. And it makes the clasp look like it actually has a purpose. Like it's holding up the fur and that. Then taking this Saturnine Terminator head, it doesn't fit in perfectly in the beginning. So I carve a little bit away at the neck area. Just to make it a little bit more further out. Which to me personally makes it a bit more realistic. Because of like the portions. And now, with that, I just adjust the head just a little bit. Oh yeah, of course. Add some glue. Be very careful with the head, because that was like my main thing. I don't want to mess up this head, because I've only got one. So tweeze as it was, and slowly just get it into place. And then I got this like nice pose, so she's just looking off to the side. And then there's the pistol. There's the model. I'm happy with it. How I did those bits of sprue, I just took a scalpel to them and just slowly like trimmed away at pieces till I got a crystal-esque shape. And those would be like ice stalagmites, or I think they're stalagmites. I don't know, the ones that stick off the ground. Yes, there is a gap in the shoulder that's like near the fur on the left shoulder in the back, but other than that, it's perfectly fine. Base coating this with Citadel Base Abaddon Black. Just to give me like a base coat to work off. Nothing too crazy, just needed something to work off of. What I'm going for is a very peculiar piece of artwork that I found of, God, what's his name now? I can't remember his name. Seven Bloodhowl. That's it. Add more white. I'm using very vague of the jump pack intercessor from the Howling Firehowlers. Yes. And that's kind of like what I'm going off of. So it's a very Horus Heresy painted theme with a bit of gold and silver for the shoulder pads. Now, originally I painted this without silver on the shoulder pads because I didn't check the reference a lot. All I knew is, well, Horus Heresy themed, and go off that, because that's what I did. And then realized later, oh wait, no, that's not right. So, yeah. I do paint it correctly. It does work right. Also, if you want to know how I get this like slightly more grayish tone to my blacks, I turn my matte white into a wash, or like a contrast-esque wash, and just drop it in. Just give me some subtle addings. Army Painter matte white. As you can see, it's not exactly like properly going down because it's like a watery wash, or like a slightly watery version of the regular paint. So it works out really well for what I need, but I know some people will be like, yeah, you shouldn't do that, but it covers alright as good as I can get it. It works out well, in my opinion. Citadel Beast Dryad Bark. I use this for leathers, fur, and the cloth. The reason I do that is because I'm going to add more browns to the fur. The cloth will get, again, I'm just going to add a lot more black browns into this, so just bear with me. Getting the base coats down, just to give me an idea of what the hell needs what. Here's where I made my first mistake. The shoulder pads should not have been brown. Those trims should not have been brown. Other than that, Army Painter Leather Brown. I mix this up, get it all semi-watery, and just start dabbing it into the fur to add a little bit of tone variation. Now, most people would just wet blend this in. I did not, because I did not want to try to record that, because it was a pain in the ass last time I tried to do that. So I did my best. Just going to get it all in patches of the fur. I'll dull this all down eventually. Then using Army Painter Fur Brown, I add little highlights here and there. Trying to like focus it on certain areas. This is semi-wet blending, but it's not really. I wouldn't classify it as wet blending. It's more of a attempt. I was trying to recreate the same style I did with my Horus Lubrical Remastered. I did. Hopefully I leave that in the comment, in the tags or whatever the hell it is. Citadel Contrast Frost Heart. I use this and I use 2 layers of it. Get me a nice icy field or ice shelf. I don't know, something like that. With some crystal on it. Well, ice stalagmites or something. I don't know. I don't know. I just know they're icicles. Reversed icicles. I don't know. I'm not good at this stuff. I just know it is what it is. It is what it is. Army Painter Leather Brown. Letting it dry out a little bit, I was able to use it again and just start building up textures, highlights. Just sort of get things to stick out a little bit more than they did before. Edge highlighting mostly. That's a glorious thing. Messy edge highlights because I'm not too worried about certain things. Army Painter Monster Brown. Using a dry brushing method and a smaller brush, I go ham on the edges of these furs to give them a sort of bleached tip to them. Just to kind of make them all stand out a little bit better. Is it extremely noticeable? No. But it does work to a degree. I think if I put a little bit more paint onto those ends of the top ones, they would look a little bit better. Using Army Painter Dark Tone, I washed a lot. Darkening down the recesses more so the dry brush stands out a bit better. Should I have come in with a re-dry brush? Probably. Did I? No. So you get what you're given. Army Painter Matte White. Citadel Contrast Frost Heart. I use this mix, which is like a baby blue, and dry brush it all over the crystals to sort of give them a little bit more of an edge, just to make them just a little bit nicer. Does it change much? No, but it does work. I also hit the base with it. Again, it's not exactly noticeable in the base because there's not a lot of like edges, but it does work here and there. Army Painter Matte Black. Game Color Glorious Gold. I use this for my dark tones of gold, which is mostly already darkened down by the dryad bark in certain areas, and I just go ham on everything. Anything that's supposed to be gold, as like higher up out of the recess, gets this color, and anything in the darker recesses don't get any of it. Again, the shoulder pads should have been grey. I do come back and fix those later on, but it is there. Then using Game Color Glorious Gold, I use as a highlight. Again, shoulder pads should have been grey. I stuffed up there. That's my bad. My bad. I mean, if this was to be a Horus Heresy-esque character, that would look great for Space Wolf, but it isn't. Model Air US Desert Sand. Desert Armor. Sorry. Go about this all over the bones and everything. Gives you a nice base coat for them. Letting the Dryad stay on the recesses to give me that nice, well, aged bone look. But I will use some washes in the end, so yes. I also hit the claws. The teeth and little pulled claws and things, skulls, all that. Army Painter Fur Brown. I use this as a skin tone base for my wolfen arm. Again, nothing fancy. I'm just going to slowly build it up in color till I get where I want it to be. Army Painter Dark Tone. I use this and just kind of like spread it around the base just to dull it down a bit because it's very bright. Now I understand some people are like this, oh, but the bright base looks good. It's like, eh. On a dark model, it's already going to look bright enough, and this is already extremely saturated, so just dulling it down just a little bit. Even if it just darkens certain spots, that's good enough for me. Army Painter Tanned Flesh. Using a sort of literally half-assed idea to keep it in the light, I go at it. Try my best to avoid the recess as best I can, but as long if it hits the light, it hits the light. Like, I can't help that. Could I have gone for a more dramatic pose? Probably. Model Air Ivory. I use this for the bones, the claws. Yeah, that's pretty much it, really. Just to sort of like tap up the edges and give them a bit more bony-esque colours. And fill up in the areas that I didn't exactly fill in properly. Sort of my cleanup. Army Painter Barbarian Flesh. I use this on the higher spots of the arms. To show that these arms are very lively. So the Marine is very much alive. Does it give any tactical advantage? Absolutely not. Does it look cool? Yes. Is it fun to paint? Kinda. Definitely if I can refine it a bit better, that'd be nicer, but... it looks good enough. That's what I say. Game color, glorious gold. Citadel base, lead belcher. I use this as a gold highlight. And I just go around edge highlighting things like the... well, things, they say. Edge highlighting the gold, that's pretty much it. It gives it a sort of like non-metallic metal, metallic metal. Now I need to do some non-metallic metals eventually, so I gotta find a model that I can do that with. Army Painter Deep Blue, Matte Black, and Ash Grey to create this sort of washy dark blue that I really like, and I used a lot of it during my Krieg builds. I still got plenty left over, so I'm just gonna use it here as a dark tone for the silver. Why not? Who's gonna stop me? I do it a few times just to get like a solid color out, but other than that, it works out pretty well. Add to the mix, lead belcher. Give it a bit more metallics, and then you just go ham on it. I go after anything that's supposed to be metal or silver, or in that tone-ish range, roughly. So I just take my time and just go about it. Citadel base, lead belcher, model air, aged white. And then I go over the highlights. Sort of highlight the best I can. To be fair though, shoulder pads are really hard to highlight properly to make it look good. So, yeah. Should probably do some more shaped highlights. I need to learn those a bit better. But for now, they look good enough. For me. Game color, fluorescent orange. I use this to fill in the eyes to give them that nice fiery red. Does it need to be fiery red? No. Do I like the idea of fiery red? Yes. Do they almost look demonic? Yes. That was not the intention, but it works. So I can't complain too much. Citadel contrast, Blood Angels red. I sort of just brush this into the lenses, sort of just like refining the outside areas, making that eye look more intense, more vengeful. Or something along those lines, I don't know. But yeah, the whole goal is just kind of like give them that like fiery red color, which I think I achieved pretty well. I know it looks a bit more orange, really, but it works out well enough. Model Air Desert Armor, US Desert Armor. Just slowly go out the cape with this. Would it have been easy to paint this cape off the model? Yes. Did I do it optimal? No. So I deal with the suffering. It also adds this nice texture if you paint correctly. Go along the cape, long strokes. So you get a nice texture effect to it. Using Model Air Ivory, I highlight these specific edges, mostly the highest points. I also do it to the cape. Army Painter Matte Black. Game Color Scarlet Blood. I use this as a base coat for the cape. A nice deep red. I like this color a lot. I could have been happy with this, but then I decided to add more color to it. I probably should have used this for the highlight and then just like washed it down into till I was happy with it, but I didn't. Because this is just a nice deep royal red in my opinion. So, could have done something with that, didn't do something with it. Game Color Blood, Scarlet Blood. I use this to highlight. I do a lot more highlights in this than I do on camera because I didn't like the way I did it on camera, so I just kind of took it off camera and just sort of had at it. Had at the... Because this cape is very odd in the way it's shaped, so it doesn't exactly make highlighting it easy. Though to be fair, Warhammer doesn't make it easy in general. Game Color Scarlet Blood. Model Air Aged White. I use this and just go again over the highlights, just kind of like deepen it. Again, it's not great. I do go off camera and just redo it again. And you'll see like what I do about it in the end. I also use these colors for the gems, so we'll see how it goes. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you want to see more videos like this, please consider liking, subscribing, and hitting the notification bell so you never miss another video. Check out my Discord down below and hit the subscribe button again because may as well help me get to 400 subscribers because I'm only, I think it's like 45 off when I recorded this voiceover, so yeah.